All right. Okay, so welcome everybody. We are going to start by sitting. So let's just sit for a second if you're standing. And we're just going to take a few breaths for the beginning. Just close your eyes, find your seat, and just very slowly breathe in through your nose for 4 counts. And breathe out through your mouth. And just take note of any tension that you might be holding in the body anywhere. So maybe do a little bit of a body scan. Start at the top of your head, your forehead, coming down into your jaw, your chest and your shoulders. Maybe just relax your hands in your lap or on, hanging off the front of your chair. Just let the shoulders drop. And then very gently imagine that spine as an energy river filled with very soft but connected energy that runs from the tailbone all the way to the crown of your head. Okay. And then just very, very gently slow your breath down to breathing in for 4 counts. And breathing out for 4 counts. And then let's just go ahead and open the eyes. And today, before we start and stand up, I just want you to try and be as present as possible in your space right now. So don't think about your night, let that go. Don't think about your day, just be present where we are right now. And then I also want you to think about something that comes after I feel happy when. And just breathe and finish that sentence off for yourself. I feel happy when. And for the rest of your week, I want you to think about something that you do for yourself every day that brings you some joy. It could be 2 minutes of sitting down and looking at your favorite tree. It could be, stopping and taking time out of your day for 5 minutes to just let go and lie down. So just think about that. Okay, open your eyes. And we're just going to slowly come up to standing. Okay, so we're going to just put your hands over just below your belly button on the lower dantian. We're going to place the feet underneath the spine, exactly the length of 1 foot apart. So you can take one of your feet and then just open up that amount. So that's your perfect sort of parallel supportive position for your stance. Okay. And then we're going to close our eyes again just for a second and think about the feet connecting into the floor. And before we start, I want you to think about a connection underneath every single toe, all 10 toes, underneath the middle of the ball of the foot, underneath the heel, and along both sides of the feet. So imagine all of those points underneath your feet connecting into the floor, into the ground, rooting you to rise up. And then very gently open your eyes, release your hands down. And we're just going to take a nice deep breath in And look over your right shoulder. I'm mirroring you here. And then exhale, come back to center. And then inhale, look over your left shoulder. And exhale, center. Let's do that again. Breathe in over the right. Breathe out, center. And breathe in over the left. And center. Now take your right ear to your right shoulder. Allow the shoulders to hang loose. And slowly roll the head to the front. And then over to the left shoulder. And then reverse it. So it's a big half moon. Going over to the side. And then drop down to the front. Over to the side. And then drop down to the front. One more. Over to the right. Drop down, chin towards your chest. Over to the left. And drop down, chin to your chest. And then inhale the head up. And now we're going to inhale your shoulders up to your ears. And then make a ha sound as you release it. Ha. And again, breathe in. And exhale. Ha. And again in. And exhale. Ha. And again in. And exhale. Ha. Good. And then take your hands on your shoulders and draw big circles with your elbows. Nice big circles. All the way around. This is brilliant for opening up the chest, opening up the shoulders. About 4 or 5 times, and then we're going to reverse the circle. So bring it out, back, and over. Out, back, and over. Breathe. And again, breathe. Very good. And now release the arms down. And then let's just take the wrists. Let's roll the wrists out and take them in front. So you're just going in and out. And then bring the wrists back and take them out to the side. So rotating out and in. Back into the middle of the body. And take the wrists up. Breathe. Good. And then bring the hands back down all the way to the floor. Good. And now just shake out. Now let's go over your right side and just shake that hand like a piece of spaghetti. So just let it shake, really shake it out. Good. And then go over to the left side and shake the hand out. Let that shake go all the way up into your shoulder. And then come back to the middle. Good. And then let's take your feet together. Give me claw hands. You're going to go like this. And you're going to put those hands above your knee. And you're just going to go round in a circle with your knees. Round in a circle, round in a circle. And then you're going to reverse that circle, go in a different direction. Big circles with your knees. Good. And then you're going to stand up and you're going to hold on to your hips. Bend your knees a little bit. You can do this on the chair as well and just move your hips around in a circle. So you actually, if you're from Jamaica, you certainly can move your hips while sitting down. I think Tarath is very good at that as well. He's got good hips. And then let's reverse it. Yep, I've seen those hips. Oh, we're being visited by a sausage dog. Just keep going. I'm gonna try and ignore her. Good, so like you're drawing a circle on the ground. And then stand up, release. Now we're gonna take one foot and step back into a lunge. So the front foot, no mousey, no. And then you're gonna put the hands on the hips, and then you're gonna take the knee around in a circle. So just circle the knee, and then press. So Dad, you can open your legs wide and just catch on your chair and really stretch back. So you can get a nice lunge even though you're sitting on the chair. Yeah. And then reverse your circle. So this is good for your balance. It's good for stretching out the Achilles. And it's good for your knees as well. And then we're going to step together. And then the other foot goes back. And then again, nice big circle. And stretch. Circle and stretch. So I'll face you. Circle and stretch. Circle and stretch. Sorry about the bikes if you can hear it. Then we're going to reverse the circle. And stretch. Really hold that stretch at the end and at the beginning. Then step together. Good. Okay. Brilliant. Now we're going to stand. And we're going to take your right arm and reach it up. And then we're going to look down over your left arm. And just allow yourself to feel that side stretch. Allow the head to dangle down. And imagine you are hanging from a limb, from a tree limb, and just hanging down. Breathe. And then we're going to reverse that. Bring the opposite hand up. And then hang down on the other side. And stay there and breathe. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. And then slowly come up. Bring both hands up towards the ceiling. And then we're going to very gently reach forward with the arms. Bend your knees. And reach back with your tailbone. So long spine. And then release your arms down, release your head, and slowly roll up through your spine and step. And just release the shoulders and the chest. Feel that back is slightly stretched out. Allow your hips to be soft, your shoulders to be soft. Good. And now we're going to do arm swings or just bare turning. So you're just going to let the arms tap the front and the back or wherever your arms go to. Little bend in the knees. If you're on a chair, you're just swinging them around. Allow the head to be on top of the chest. The knees are staying in front of you, okay? So don't twist your knees. Very light breath as you twist and tap. So this is really fantastic for clearing the chi and getting anything that does not serve you, kind of like a little blender, kind of whirlpooling it out and clearing it out for nice and good, wonderful chi to come into your space. Good. And then now just let that slowly stop. Allow your arms to feel a little bit longer, a little bit heavier. Good. Lovely. Okay, so now we're going to do a little shaking, okay? So we're just gonna bend the knees a little bit, or if you're sitting, you can shake while you're sitting. And you want that shaking to come from your center. Little tiny shakes. We're just gonna shake like this for about a minute. So breathing in and give me some nice big exhales. You can flutter the lips like a horse breath from yoga. You can make noise, let the shoulders, from the chest. And imagine you're just getting rid of any stiffness that cropped up into the body while you were sleeping or your day. Let go of your day. And this is fantastic for circulation, fantastic for getting that blood pumping through the whole system. Now, if anything feels uncomfortable, obviously you don't want to do it. But I find to get that heat going, shaking is fantastic, really good. Another few breaths. And we're going to slowly stop. And just try to be as still as you can. Almost as if there was a butterfly on your finger and you didn't want the butterfly to fly away. Just allow the shaking to come to a standstill. Allow the body to hang nice and hip. Breathe. Slow your breath down a little. And let's put the hands back over the lower dantian for a little bit. And just check in. Feel what the energy feels like in the body now. Maybe a little bit more heat has been generated. But a little bit more relaxation. And release your arms down. Good. All right, now we're going to do a little bit of tapping. So let's just start with taking your, let's do your left hand and brush it from the center of the chest out and then down the inside and brush it off. So brush it out like that. Okay, so these are just tracing some of the major meridian lines through the body. We have 12, so there are lots of them, but we try and get to a few every class. Just helps connecting everything, kind of all the wiring, getting it wired up. And then we're going to do the other side. So from the middle of the chest down the inside of the arm and brush out and brush out and brush out and brush out. Good. Keep going. Brush and brush and brush and brush. Very good. And now we're going to take the outside of the hand and just flop from your wrist. And you're just going to tap the outside of the arm coming up into the shoulder. And when you get to the shoulder, just give it a little squeeze and a massage. And then again, tapping the outside, coming up. And then a little squeeze and a massage. One more time, tapping the outside, coming up. And then a squeeze and a massage. And then the other side, tapping the outside and a squeeze and tapping and a squeeze. One more and tap and a squeeze and release. Good. Now we're going to take the hands and we're going to tap with the tips of the fingertips, the forehead, and we're going to go up both sides of the brain to the back. And then we're just going to go to the nape of the neck and release. Let's do that again. Tap the front, over the top, and then to the back, upper back, so go to the 3, 4, 2, 5. And one more time. I'll kneel down here and up, and then to the back. Good. Okay. And then we're going to take the back, the hands to the kidneys. And then we're going to take them down the outsides, the backs of the legs, then come up the insides of the legs, and then up the pelvis and brush off. Okay, do that again. Brush down the backs of the legs, come up the insides of the legs, pelvis, brush off. And again, back of the legs, insides, and brush off. Good. Fantastic. Okay, well done. How does everybody feel? Okay? Good. Thumbs up? Good. Okay. All right. So we're going to start doing some forms now. So we're going to start with one called pulsing, which is from the wood element. So the wood element from the 5 elements Qigong is all about connecting and rooting, being strong, but also being flexible and easily bendable, okay? So it's a really good one when you are at a crossroads, you're not quite sure where to go, you're really confused about things around you, and you need strength, but flexibility, if that makes any sense. So all we're going to do is we're going to take the hands in front and imagine that they're going through water. So we're just going to take them up in front of you with the wrist face down. I'm just doing the hands first. And then we're going to flip the palms up and then slowly bring them down. So it's almost like you're painting a beautiful canvas with your hands, and your hands are the brush. So beautiful, very leafy brush, and then slowly coming back down. Now, as we do that, you want to think about the arms moving separate from the rest of the body. And as you come up, you want to bend your knees a little. And then as you come up, you're going to stretch your knees a little. So it's a kind of like a squat, but not really at all. So breathe and slowly paint your canvas. And then breathe out and slowly paint it down. Breathe in. Breathe. Breathe in. Breathe. 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 Breathing. Breathe. And as you're bending your knees and painting up, imagine your tailbone lengthening down and your head, the crown of your head, lengthening up. One more time, breathing in, breathing out. Very nice, good. And now we're just going to cleanse that out. So we're going to breathe the arms up. And then we're going to bring the hands together and then open the palms and very gently float them down the center of the body. Fingers facing towards each other. And good. So that's a really nice gentle squat. So if you see those people at the gym doing all of these crazy things, just go, no, this is my squat, which is much better for me, much healthier for my joints. Yes? There you go. Okay. All right. Now we're going to go on to opening the bow. So we did this last week. It's from the 8 brocades. And we are also doing this for the wood element, okay? So we're gonna have a wide stance with the feet. And I really want you to not push your toes back too much, okay? Make sure your toes are slightly forward. You can see my feet, I think. And you're going to bring your arms, your forearms together, okay? And we're just gonna do the arms first. So you're gonna imagine you are an archer and you're holding a bow and arrow, okay? So I'm going to mirror you and go to the left. You're going to go to the right. So you're going to make a L sign with your right hand. And all you're going to do is you're going to turn that wrist away and you're going to pull back your bow. And you're going to look over that and out and beyond that right hand, opening the chest. So imagine you're really pulling something really difficult. So the shoulders need to be open and down. And then you're going to slowly bring them back in to the front as the head comes forward. And now we're going to go to the other side. So L shape with the left hand, pulling back with the right hand, looking towards and out. You're looking at your targets. Okay, focus. So the heart meridian, which is the heart is the organ for the fire element. It runs all the way to the ends of the fingers. So it's very much a very important part of focus. So if you're losing focus a lot, this one is a very good one to do. Okay, so we're just gonna do one more with just the arms, but really imagine you're pulling a very heavy bow. That will really get you into the energy of this, as opposed to going too fast and then coming back in. Okay, So the legs are simply just going to bend slowly. And when we're bending, you want a slight tuck in the tailbone and just a little bit of a bend and a little bit of a rise up. And the slower you go, the better, because it means you're not going to hang out here forever, right? So you want to just very gently sink down and very gently rise up. And remember those 9 points that we went over under the feet? All of those points need to be connected into the floor. So even if you're sitting, you still want to really open those toes and get those feet connected to the floor. So let's try with the arms and the feet and the legs. Okay, so we have an L shape with your right hand, right? And we're going to pull back and go. So breathe in, pull back, open, tailbone long. Breathe out, slowly come back. And it's always tricky getting everything there at the same time. So take your time and very gently stretch it open. And slowly come. And you want your breath to be nice and light, not heavy. Those of us who are yogis, we're very used to kind of getting crazy and heavy with our breath, with like Ujjayi breath, but not in Qigong. In Qigong, you want your breath really nice and soft. Almost as if you were doing nothing at all. So the least amount of effort. So open that chest, pull back as you lengthen. And slowly come. And if your legs are getting a little tired, just bend a little bit. Don't bend a lot, just take it down tiny bit. And when you open, really focus on something. Imagine something that you really want to connect with. Let's do one more to your left. Good. All right, and then let's bring the feet back together. Release your arms down. And again, just let's clear that form out. So breathing in. I've got the sun setting now. It's really beautiful. Breathing out. Center line down. Nice. Good. All right. So we've done 2 forms now from the wood element. So now we're going to do one from the fire element. So fire, we're going to do one called separating clouds. So this one is lovely. This one can be an every morning wake up form. So we're going to bring the arms out and almost as if we are taking a t-shirt off. We're just going to have a little bend of the knees. We're going to cross the arms over each other. So you see they're kind of in front of my body, right? And like you're taking a t-shirt off. You're going to bring your arms up and then you're going to open your hands wide. And very little bends as the arms come down. So that's all it is. So you're going to breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe. Breathe in. Breathe out. And a little bit of a smile is always good, just to really focus that energy and that chi and enjoy the movement. Really try and allow it to feel good. Takes a little time to slow things down, but that is part of the whole experience of practicing Qigong forms, is to develop that patience of flowing through the form without rushing. Those of us who are really fast movers, me included, this took me a good year to really get down to moving slowly. It's probably one of the hardest things for me, but I really enjoy it and love it now. All right, let's do one more. Wherever you are, just keep going. Good. Beautiful. And then let's just clear that out. Breathing in, arms up. And breathing out. Breath down in. Lovely. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is called crane flying. So you're going to make hands like a crane. So like a beak. Everybody can see the beaks. And we're going to stand in a V, and we're going to bring the hands down. So this one's really nice and simple, as long as you don't mind looking like a crane. We have beautiful cranes in Uganda, their national bird. So all you're going to do is you're going to fly your beaks up and your beaks down. And then you're just going to add a little bend in the knees as your wings extend. And then a little stretch in the legs as your beaks come down. So breathing in, breathing, 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 breathing. Do a few more. So imagine you're that crane out in a beautiful open space, enjoying the sunlight on your peak or on your beautiful head, your plumage. I've just seen some beautiful cranes in Shaba National Park here in Kenya. They're absolutely beautiful. Good. All right. Now let's just clear that out. So stand with the feet parallel, breathing in. And breathing out. Slowly down. Nice. Okay, brilliant. All right, now we're going to move on to the earth element. So I thought we'd do a little bit of everything today. So this one is called Looking Back to Eliminate the 5 Fatigues and 7 Illnesses. So we all feel tired at some point in our day, in our lives, and we all have illnesses we need to eliminate. So the other easy name for it is called the owl. The wise owl turns its head. So you're going to take your hands and imagine they were kind of screwing off a top of a bottle. So you're just going to rotate the arms. But when you rotate, I want you to really open your chest. So if you were to look at me sideways, I'm actually pulling my shoulders back and almost like sticking my chest out a little bit. Okay? So I'm going to demonstrate from the side. We're just going to breathe in and look over your right shoulder, open your chest, and imagine that head could look around 100, almost all the way around. And then exhale, slowly release your hands and look back to the front. And then the other side, breathing in, open and look over your other shoulder. Breathing out, release back to the front. Okay, this is fantastic for those of you on computers all day. Breathing in, open your chest. Breathing out, back to the front. Breathing in, open. Breathing out. Hold. Breathing in, open. Breathing out. Hold. Breathing in, open. Breathing out. And then you can have a little bend as you come back to the front and an opening of the legs and the chest as you look over. Breathing. 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 Lovely. All right, and then let's clear that out. Inhale. And exhale. Lovely. Brilliant, everybody. Okay. So now we're going to go to a metal one, which is called tiger breathing. So we're going to have sort of like tiger claws. All right. So your hands are going to be like claws, right? The theater in Tarath is going to come out. And so we're going to take the arms in front. So you're just going to brush them forward. And then you're going to grab your tiger claws. And then you're going to bring the tiger claws up. Go back all the way up to the ceiling. And then we're going to take your tiger claws forward, like you're about to pounce onto your prey. And then you're going to very gently release them and bring them into the body as you open and stand tall. So from the side, you breathe in the arms forward. You get your claws. You bring the claws up. Feel that tiger intensity all the way up. Then you reach forward. You can round your back and tuck your tailbone a little bit as you come forward. And now you've got your prey and you're going to just very gently release and bring that into the body as you stand strong. Let's do that again. Bring the arms forward. Tiger claws. Bring it up to the top. Reach forward as you come down. And then slowly, as you've gotten what you need, you're going to release those hands, soften them up, and come back to standing. Let's do that one more time. Release the arms forward and grab. Bring the arms up, tiger claws all the way up. And then reach forward. Imagine you're harnessing whatever it is that does not serve you. And now you've got it. You're going to release it into the ground as you bring your arms back in. Good. All right. Let's clear that out. Inhaling arms up. And slowly pressing down in the front of the body. Cleansing that energy out and down. Nice. Good. Okay. So shake your hands out. It's funny. Sometimes I find when you're doing things with your hands, that energy really is quite strong. Yeah. Holding it, you really do feel that presence of that energy in those limbs. And then when they're released, you also feel that quite strongly. Okay. So we're going to move on to water. We've done this many times before because water element is one of my favorites. It's usually the one I need the most, because if you have too much fire, what do you need? Yin Yang. You need water to calm you down. Taras is going, me, yes. So we're going to bring the hands up with the palms face up. And then we're going to do a little bend. If this is too strong for you, you can just do it with the feet here, right? And make it a little bit easier. Yeah. So we're going to bend the knees just a little bit, not a lot. And we're going to take a deep breath in. And as we breathe out, we're just going to very gently turn to your right. The whole torso is turning from your waist up. And then we're going to breathe in, come back to your center. So just start small and then breathe out, turn to your left. Breathe in, come center. And breathe out to your right. Breathe in, center. And breathe out. Breathe in. And if you get a little bit more flexible in your spine, you can take it a little bit more each time. But in Qigong, 2/3 is always your attack mode. You're going to hold back a little bit every single time. Never go to the full extent of what you got. Always reserve a little bit for yourself. Another huge lesson and challenge in life in general. Maintain a nice, soft, light breath. I find this one really good for lower back pain. Loosening up the low back. Good, and then go ahead and do one more and slowly bring those arms down. Everyone's looking fantastic. Good. And then one tip, when you're bringing your hands up, try not to bring your shoulders up, right? So if your shoulders come up when they come up too high, bring your arms down, right? And then soon you'll get that strength and that connection through your back so that you can get your arms up without the shoulders coming up into your ears. But I'd much rather the hands be here than the hands up here with the shoulders. Yeah? It's all about just a very free flowing from the trunk. Yeah? Okay. All right. Did we cleanse that out? I can't remember. Let's cleanse that out. So we're going to breathe in, arms up. Breathe out. Very good. Lovely. Fantastic. All right. Last one. So this one is called moving clouds, or last form before we do our meditation at the end. So we're going to take, and this one is also from water. I have a beautiful picture of everyone doing this at the coast at our last retreat here with the Indian Ocean, in front of the Indian Ocean underneath a baobab tree. So I will always think of that baobab tree when I do this. So I want you to imagine a big, beautiful ball of energy between your two hands. You could also think about just a healing light. You could think about the energy that comes from the earth, from a tree. You know, you need to kind of make it your own. And we're just going to very gently breathe in, and we're going to twist very gently to the right. With your right hand on top. And when you go to the side, you're going to switch your hands out, take your left hand on top, right hand on the bottom, and very gently twist back to the front. Breathe in, keep going to your left. Switch the hands, breathe out, come back to center. Now you want your fingertips really nice and soft. Your hands are an expression of the heart. So if your hands are gripping, then your heart's not going to be very relaxed or easy. So you want those hands to be really nice and soft. Top hand in front of the chest, bottom hand in front of the abdomen. And again, very light, easy movement. Sometimes if there's a part of me that I don't think is doing really well, I focus on that organ. Just imagine it strong, healthy. And let's just do one more pass. Good. And then slowly come back to your center. Hands on the lower dantian. Stand nice and tall for a minute. And then I think this is a good time for Wuji. So we're going to release our arms down. We're going to imagine we have little eggs underneath our armpits that we're holding, but then soften the rest of the arm and the hands. And I want you to have a slight bend in your knees, just slightly. Close your eyes or keep them open. It's up to you. And we're just going to hold this for a minute. Relax your breath for standing meditation or sitting meditation. If your feet or your legs are tired, you can always sit. So when you are doing your Qigong, Wuji is one of the most important parts to really take notice and practice effortless effort. Holding a standing posture with the least amount of effort. Listening to your body, listening to your thoughts, and connecting with the energy around you. It's nice to imagine an element. You could be a river or a sea or an ocean. You could be a creature in the sea. Or you could be a majestic tree. Imagine your hair as leaves blowing in the wind, filled with that energy, supporting the limbs of the tree. Just take note of anywhere in the body that you're holding on to still, that you're really giving energy to that does not need it, doesn't serve you, so let it go. Relax your jaw. Maybe place the tongue just above the front teeth, where the front and the back meridians join. The Mai and the Ren Mai. Two meridian pathways that are very important. And then let's just release that for a minute. Let the hands release. And just be still for 2 more seconds, but relax the holding position. Maybe take a little breath. Beautiful. All right, now I want everyone to find a seat or lie down with a cushion close to you. I'm gonna get my plug just in case, because last time I ran out of power at the very end. So hold on. Hi, Hassan. Okay, make sure you're warm if you are in a very snowy place. Make sure you're nice and cool and comfortable if you're in a hot place. All right, so last week I did the gemstone polishing meditation. So I think today we're going to do the macro and micro meditation. So I want you, if you're sitting or if you're lying down, to just place your hands over your belly. So right hand on top if you're a man, left on top if you're a woman. And we're going to do our orbit. So I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to start breathing. And take some centering breaths that feel long and slow and even. And then I want you to visualize a colored light filling and emptying from the space underneath your hands. So as you breathe in, and that light can have whatever color you'd like it to be. It could be white, it could be golden, it could be, I don't know, faded ice blue. So it's up to you, whatever it feels like it needs to have today. Maybe it's a golden yellow like a sunset. So breathe into that ball of light underneath your hands. And then when you're ready, I want you to exhale and descend that colored light with your breath to the bottom of the pelvic floor. So imagine it moving down to the pelvic floor. And this is an acupuncture point known as the Hu Yin, or the meeting of Yin. It's a very important point in the body. As you inhale again, begin to let the colored light move from up the pelvic floor to the base of your spine or to the tailbone. Slowly making its way to the tailbone. And from there, inhale and begin to visualize the color and the breath rising up the entire length of the spine. Up the lower, up the middle, and the upper. Continue moving it until reaching the top of your head to the Bai Hui, or 100 meeting points. Another important acupuncture point. Then moving along this primary yang meridian, or the Du Mai. So that's your back, going up the back of the body. Then we're going to exhale your colored light from the 100 meeting points down the center of the whole front body. This is your primary yin channel. So Our yin energy is usually the front of the body and your yang, the back of the body. It's also called the Ren Mai. So imagine that ball of light going down the front of the body. Let it move down the front of the face, the throat, the chest, the belly. And invite the movement to flow downwards like a stream or a river. All the way down until it reaches your pelvic floor. Back to the meeting of yin, where it completes one full orbit. And now I want you to continue doing this. So you're going to just continue doing these orbits a few more times on your own. Moving that light all around, orbiting the Dumai, the Yang, and the Ren Mai, the Yin. And just as when we were standing in Wuji, if you're sitting, really try and have a light posture, but a long, open posture, lightly long. Letting the energy flow. And then slowly just make your way back to underneath your hands where you started. And then when you're back there, just slowly open your eyes. And just release your hands. Good. Beautiful. All right, and then we're going to just finish our Qigong today with 3 bows. So we can just put the hands over the heart. And the first bow, we're going to say thank you for today. Thank you for this time. Thank you for coming together and having this gift of this hour. And then our second bow, we're going to thank our teachers that have brought us to this point, having the wisdom to spend this time with ourselves. All of those teachers out there passing on their knowledge. And then our third bow to ourselves, to make sure we bless, we respect, and we love ourselves. To ourselves. Fantastic. Wonderful. Well, thank you guys, everybody. I'm not going to run out of power, so that's great. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask, or I did record it. Let me stop the recording because then I can send anyone the recording if they would like it.